What are some of the unexpected good things that have happened as a result of getting this book out there in the world?
I don't know. I'm hoping that there are more unexpected good things to come. And I think that because I have a bunch of podcasts sort of in the works, so I'm just gonna keep going, and one thing will lead to another, to another, to another. I guess I look forward to more
of those pile up. Sounds like you've saved a life already. You're getting great feedback on the book about the reading experience, about the dark and the light.
It feels so good that I keep hearing from people that they can't put it down. And also, another thing is that I didn't do the audiobook yet. At some point, I'll do that, but I haven't done it yet, which again is just I'm not doing it I'm sort of doing it in differently than in so many ways that traditional publishing happens. But I've heard from a fair number of people who've said to me they don't read books anymore because so many people's attention span or ability to sit and read a book and focus has been compromised because of our world of the way that we exist now with social media, all the stuff coming at us. But so the point is that a lot of people would tell me that they don't read books anymore and they don't have the patience and attention span for whatever reason have been able to read this. And they're like, oh, it's the first book I've read in years. And they're reading it, enjoying it, and getting through it. So that feels really good too. I wasn't expecting that.
That is amazing, especially for a big book. It's not a quick read, but I do think it's a beach read. Like it'll get its hooks in you.
Yeah, I mean, I like to tell people that it's kind of like you're just reading two or three books that are just bound together, right?
Series.
Because, I mean, I've read some really long books too, and there is this element of like, it's kind of a slog, certain books, or when it's heavy or it's hard to read or it's hard to follow. Fortunately, reading the book flows and it's easy because it sounds like my voice. You don't have to like focus really hard to understand what I've written. It's just as if I'm telling you a story. So it moves very quickly and it feels good in that way. It's just like a couple of books bound together as opposed to like a reading Crime and Punishment or something.
Yeah, well, those long books or even series are so satisfying, partly because my favorite example of this is Shantaram. Like, it covers 10 years of a very full and fascinating life. And so when you finish that book, you feel like you've lived a whole nother life. And it's a really immersive experience. When you spend so many hours with someone, it's just a different thing than breezing through another Bridgerton novel or whatever it is.
One other thing that I would say that was a little bit different than expected is, and other people who've put out memoirs have told me this, is that you feel really uber vulnerable when it comes out. Like, it just feels, I mean, I don't know if it was sort of psychological, but I developed this like sty on my eye right on, and I again, good thing I didn't have like these public events scheduled because I had this really unattractive sty on the bottom of my eye right when it came out. I mean, I've talked to other people who have said the same thing, that you just feel very, 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 very vulnerable. And like, you just kind of want to crawl under the covers. And so it's weird because you're celebrating and you're excited that it's out there. But at the same time, part of you just wants to sort of curl up in a little ball and hide under the covers. And you just feel very exposed.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's like a clone of you walking around naked all over the world, and you are not sure that you know.
And you're not like feeling hot either. You know what I mean? It's like you're like naked and pale and it's cold and you're shivering and, your hair is matted down. It's not like an attractive. It's like you feel super vulnerable and like, are people going to accept me? Yeah, you just feel very vulnerable. So that's something I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you can do to be ready for that, but I've talked to other people who put out memoirs that were not nearly as kind of deeply personal. And I've heard that same thing. And even from, I listened to a podcast with Christy Brinkley talking about her memoir and her having this panicked feeling when it was coming out that like, oh my God, is anybody going to care? Is anybody going to read it? Is it just going to sit there in piles and nobody's going to buy it? And I thought, oh, she felt that way too. So I think it's pretty universal if you put out a memoir that you feel really super vulnerable and exposed.
Yeah, which, I mean, all books are personal, everything with your name on it is personal, but memoirs, I think, are a whole nother level of like, especially this kind of like extremely honest, you feel like there's already sort of a jury around you. It just takes a crazy courage. I appreciate and salute the artist's courage that it took to finish this book and get it out there and carry the flag. Do everything that you're doing to promote it and help all the people that you're helping by getting it in their hands.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm going to do it all over again. But it won't be nearly as grueling to write the second one. I think it'll be a lot smoother and more fun. But yeah, it's something I really want to do.
Once you've been through the maze once, you at least, I don't know if it's faster, but at least you know that there's an end to the maze, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what the process is. And then I think importantly for me, what was really hard about writing this book is that because of all of the dissociation, there was so much that I don't remember. And it was just really painful to try to go back there, and a lot of work to try to piece things together, and like looking at my Instagram timeline and emails and G chats and texts and trying to figure out, and then not remembering in what order things happened. And so having that trauma induced dissociation, that made it really, really hard to write. That was just like another layer of difficulty. So with the second one, I won't have that. I remember everything. I have a lot more documentation that's straightforward. And I feel like with that element removed will make it move a lot quicker and smoother.